What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh 1.
and today we're going to be answering more questions yet again in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. I missed the WAAAGH. But if you guys want to support the channel, you can. Give us a super thanks. And if you do, you can ask us a question. We will answer that question next video. If not, just give us a super thanks and I won't miss any more WAAAGHs.
And today's question comes from Dum225. Is it possible that the Orks will have another great party?
That's a good question. And first we have to define what a great party is. So the Great Party was basically the Orcs' civil war. The Orc society was controlled by the Quark, and the Quark were just massive Orc leaders that were essentially like WAAAGH clan members. They were very regimented, understood like the concepts of war, very intelligent, massive, and then as the old ones left and that support from the old ones went away, it became harder and harder to maintain order within the regular Orc boys. The Orc boys rebelled in what became known as the Great Party, and all of these other clans broke out. So you have the Speed Freaks, WAAAGH clan,
Bad Moons.
Bad Moons, there you go. Yeah, Snake Bites, all that kind of stuff. And then that's what happened. So could that happen again? Not identical, right, because it was a civil war. But what is prophesized is that there's going to be another big party, and that's kind of our end times for the Orcs. It's when God School decides to create, I don't know if it was 5 or 7 great WAAGHs throughout the galaxy. They all combine into one massive, rolling, like, orgy of destruction and death. And then once that happens, then that's a great party.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I was going to say it's probably going to happen, but the thing is, there are so many end time scenarios out there that it's like, are all these things going to play out? Are only some of them going to play out? Like, if somebody's end time happens and it wasn't the end times, then what does that even mean? Right. Yeah. Because the Eldar have some different Primarchs will be returning depending on how the end times
play out. Yeah, Lehman Russ has the Wolf Times.
Yeah, Vulcan when all the relics are gathered.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there. So it's like, is everything going to be happening all at once? If it is, that's going to be pretty cool, but also pretty chaotic. Pretty cool too. So yeah, who knows?
But yeah, that's kind of like the gist of that. We'll see what happens. Next question comes from The Outsider. Could Sauron lead the Orcs in 40K universe? No, because I think the Orcs in the Tolkien universe are very, like, there's still some type of order, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They don't necessarily abide by the whole might makes right, because you could scare Orcs into doing stuff pretty easily, at least in the
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings scenarios.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think that Sauron could control the Orcs, because at the end of the day, the Orcs only follow whoever is like the biggest, greenest, meanest orc. Sauron is not an orc.
Right.
He's a sorcerer, and we know that orcs love to kill sorcerers. Next question.
This one is by Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus. The question is, have the Tyranids ever been able to enter the warp? And if so, what do they do in there?
They kind of just have their own little like party thing because they have the shadow of the warp, so they have a bubble around them.
But yeah, it is possible for them to enter, and they just do what they normally do: just eat, consume, fight, devour.
Yep.
It's weird because like they're able to eat demons and stuff like that, but like demons like dematerialize, and there's no like biomass.
Yep.
But there is a tendril of Tyranids that has been created to combat chaos specifically.
High Fleet Cronus, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So. I think we have a 40 Facts video on it, if you want to look it up. This next question comes from Justice777. What would you guys name your flagship? Because the famous one is like the flagship, the Vengeful Spirit.
Eisenstein. Mine would probably be El Camarada. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
The Comrade?
Yeah, the Comrade. And I'll basically be passing out tacos to people.
You'd be the taco man on the flagship or on the bridge.
On the bridge, yeah.
If I had to pick one, like if I like a name my car, because I have a little black car, so it'd be El Morenito.
That works.
There you go. So yeah, next question.
This one is by Ivan Pache 5926. What was that blue humanoid entity that the Tau found in the warp that allowed them to get out of there? Keep up the great job, guys. Saludos desde Peru.
Peru. That's a place I still need to go to. Want to go to.
That's with the alpacas, right?
Yep, with Machu Picchu.
Or is it the llamas?
I don't know.
Emperor's New Groove.
There you go. Also, the Galapagos Islands are near there. Not near there, but are part of Peru. I didn't know that. To answer your question...
So it's rumored that it could be one of two things. Zeech, for some reason, even though Zeech was the one that was like playing tricks on them and making them go crazy, it could just be Zeech got bored with them and dumped them out, which doesn't really make sense to me. And there's also the other theory that the ideology, the belief, and the, I guess, kind of religion of the greater good is coalescing into being a god, which is interesting because the Tau are few in number, and the Tau also don't have a huge registry in the warp. They don't really have psychers. They don't really have a psychic presence. But I guess if enough of them believe about the greater good, I guess it will coalesce into a being.
Right.
So that's probably what it is, or at least it's
rumored.
Yeah.
Next question, sticking with the Tau theme, is by Milex Plays. How are you enjoying the new Tau stuff?
We haven't played.
Older video, but yeah.
we actually haven't played. The new Tau stuff did seem really overpowered and kind of game-breaking when it first came out. Like the hammerhead and the railgun was super OP. But I think once you actually see that all the other codices have been stepping up their power creep levels, they'll probably all be around the same power level. But yeah, it does seem pretty fun. I don't think I'll find out exactly how strong it was because we'll probably not play till like 10th edition.
Yeah, probably. But yeah. This next question comes from Conrad. So my dog is yellow and fat. She was possessed by Slanesh. She ate both of you. Sound Alchemist was tasty, and Gersh was meh. Think of that. She gains, because of that, I guess, she gained some warp powers because Gersh is a vampire. Hashtags Team Edward. And Sound Alchemist is E. I don't know what that means.
Okay, I'm following.
That's it. That's the question.
Well, to answer your question,
yeah.
On to the next.
Next one.
This one is by Hunter Manikas 6881. Where do the tusks come from on the Chaos Terminators and Chaos Knights? Are they boons, trophies? What exactly are they?
Good question.
Yeah, I've always wondered that because whenever you look at a Terminator, they do have those like elephant-like tusks coming out, and they've always like bothered me.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem like they should be there. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's a boon because every Terminator has it if it's a Chaos Terminator. So I feel like it's part of the armor, and it might just be there just to like gore things.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they got the power fist and stuff, but like, why stop there? Impale people with elephant tusks.
Well, you got to remember too that the way that the Terminators would fight is that you would teleport them into the thick of everything. So like when it's almost like first charge or like just like a simple charge right away, it would make sense that you have that to gore your enemies with, and then you pound and slash and do all that nasty stuff.
Yeah, they usually have the "Into the Thick of It" song playing while they're doing it, and then when they gore somebody, they go ooh.
Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Joaquin 2831. Is it possible to weaponize any dead Xenos like Orks, Necrons, Tyranids by turning them into servitors? No.
Yeah, no.
Servitors are still living people, usually. I recently did a video on it during the Halloween time about the reality worse than death. And that is becoming a servitor. Because you're literally probably like an inmate, a criminal, or just some unfortunate soul that was captured by the Skitarii, lobotomized, basically just done experimentation, augmented your body with either like weapons or some type of machinery that allows you to do whatever job you're going to be programmed to do for the rest of your life. And it's just a really bad, like, fate.
Right.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you do need to be alive to do this, because if you're dead, you have no brain waves, you can't function. And unfortunately, there are some cases where servitors, somehow their brain snaps back and they come back into consciousness, and they just like go crazy.
Right.
So you're basically trapped in your own brain, feeling pain, feeling sorrow for eternity.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh 1.
and we are done.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.